This video will cover lymphoplasmacytic lymphoma and Waldenstrom's macroglobulinemia. To anchor ourselves, we're going to use Waldenstrom's macroglobulinemia since it has a more unique name that is easier to work with. To remember Waldenstrom's, take a close look at the main character. Yup, this is in fact the Walter White. If you don't know who that is, do yourself a favor and go watch some TV. Walter sounds like Waldenstrom's, and that's our anchor. Our boy Walter decided to switch it up a little bit with his style. He's now into reggae and associated with Rastafari. LPL is defined as neoplastic lymphoplasmacytoid cells involving the bone marrow. If there is LPL and an IgM monoclonal component in the blood, then it becomes Waldenstrom's macroglobulinemia. Let's break it down. Plasma cells are represented by our character being Rasta, because Rasta kind of sounds like plasma. If you notice, our Rasta character has his drink of choice here, which is bone broth. Bone broth will represent bone marrow. So the Rasta character with his bone broth represents LPL, which is neoplastic plasmacytoid cells in the bone marrow. One of the characteristic findings in these diseases is the presence of Dutcher bodies, which are intracytoplasmic inclusions that stain with PAS. Dutcher bodies are represented by our main character wearing none other than a Netherlands jersey, since they speak Dutch there. Let's turn our attention to this decoration they have here. A submarine named Hep C. This of course represents the association of hepatitis C to these diseases. Another association with these diseases is cryoglobulinemia, which is represented by this cryo booth that these guys have here. I'm sure they use the cryo booth when they want some unaltered air. Speaking of air, you notice the pattern of smoke, or you could even call it a mist, that is being blown? It's forming the number 88. This is because more than 90% of LPL cases have mutations in the MYD88 gene. If you were to just read the name of that gene out loud, it would sound like mid. And mid sort of sounds like mist. Which, boys, there's some mist being made here. Mutations in the CXCR4 gene are associated with poor prognosis. The gene CXCR4 is represented by this dude here sitting crisscross with the number 4 on his shirt. Save the best for last, the dog. If you know anything about dogs, you'll recognize that this is a mastiff. The mastiff is here to represent mast cells. Mast cell infiltrates in the bone marrow are a common supportive finding in LPL.